Hi, in this video, I'm going to tell you about my visitation from Jesus. I had been really sick from a car accident. I had been through a lot of physical therapy. I was really sick and I was taking care of two toddlers, a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old. And I had young men and women, my older children. So it was difficult for me. It had already been about a year after my car accident, and I needed 3 pillows just to be able to get through the day. My injury was from my left side all the way to the back, and somebody hit me. Apparently the light turned green for both sides, and somebody just came at me and hit me, and my whole vehicle just spun around to the other side of the intersection. But anyways, I had already been sick for a year, and the treatments, they had given me a little electrical gadget that for electrical shocks whenever I felt pain. But I was going through a really difficult time, and taking care of 2 babies, 2 toddlers was very difficult. Taking them in and out of bathtubs was excruciating pain. But anyways, well, I had asked my daughter to take care of the kids, my oldest daughter, for a couple of days so that I could have rest and recover. My body was hurting really bad. So because I missed the kids, I went into the bedroom and I fell asleep in one of my kids' beds. And I was in a lot of pain. Medication just wasn't working. It was just a lot of pain. Well, anyway, that night that I went in and sleep in my children's bedroom, I went to sleep in one of my baby's beds. And I was really sick, really in pain. And suddenly I see this bright light on the threshold of the bedroom. It was just, the doorway was illuminated. It was so bright. I've never seen a brightness here on earth that can match that kind of illumination. The doorway, the threshold of the doorway was completely enveloped in that bright light. And I turned around and I saw it. And it was so loving and so peaceful. Well, as I looked into the doorway with that massive illuminating light that I can't explain that I've ever seen here on earth, and the next thing I know is I see Jesus, but the brightness of his face is so big that all I can see is the brightness, this brightness that I cannot understand. I can't tell you how bright it was. It didn't hurt my eyes, but it was so bright that it was amazing. It just felt wonderful. Well, I see that bright light coming towards me. And I was laying in bed, and suddenly I just fell asleep. I just fell asleep. I could still feel, maybe not asleep, I was sedated, at peace. And suddenly I felt a lot of hands around my body healing me. They were healing me. At that point, I knew it was Jesus. And the hands were all over my body. And I felt this amazing healing taking place over my body. It was like as if Jesus came to heal me from that car accident that I had been a year ago. Back then, this was like about 25 years ago. And the healing kept on going. And then I just saw him leave. He just left. It was as if he showed up long enough to heal me. And up until that point, I needed 3 pillows. 3, one for my neck, one to hug, and one between my legs, just to help me deal with the pain and in my body, in all my body. Well, the next morning, I got up and I felt healing. I felt so much better that I no longer needed the pillows to find comfort in my body. And that was Jesus. He appeared to me about 24 years ago in my children's bedroom. And again, the brightness of that light is incredible, and you know that it's Jesus. And after that, I had a dream, and Jesus was like in the middle of the street in a hill. It was dark, it was at night, but he was lit up. And as he was standing up the road, like in a little hill, he was just standing there in the middle of the road, and suddenly he was wearing a white robe, and he suddenly turned around and looked at me that I was talking to other people, and he turns around and he looks at me with a really big smile, and he looks at me and he says, "Well, aren't you coming?" And I just ran. He just looked at me with this incredible smile, and he says to me, "Well, aren't you coming? Aren't you going to follow me?" And I ran after him. I just ran after him. So Jesus is very real, and you will have a visitation from him. Just have faith. No matter how much in pain you are, no matter how bad your situation is, he will show up, even if it's for a moment, to heal you just the way he healed me, to be able to take care of my babies. He'll show up in your life. You cannot give up on him, because he never gives up on us. So just to let you know, Jesus is very much alive in our lives, in our daily lives. All he asks of us is to follow him and leave the world behind. We have to separate ourselves from the world, from the sin, because sin separates us from him. So just know that he's there with us always. And God Father, he's only a breath away. So I'll talk to you later.